Let's be honest, when you picture the Maldives, you're probably thinking of those amazing overwater bungalows and crystal clear lagoons, right? Not traffic jams. But believe it or not, paradise has a problem. So let's dive into the absolutely radical plan this island nation has to solve it.
It's a strange question, isn't it? I mean, we're talking about an archipelago of over 1,000 islands, many of which you could walk across in just a few minutes. And yet, they're facing a very modern, very urban crisis. So how on earth did they get here? And more importantly, what are they going to do about it?
The heart of the issue is just simple geography. When you have incredibly limited land, every single square meter is precious. And as the population and the economy have grown, so has the number of vehicles. It's created this crazy paradox, gridlock in a place that's world famous for its wide-open ocean views.
So to solve this, the Maldives isn't just, adding a few bus routes here and there. Nope, they are launching a massive national policy built around one really powerful idea: carrying capacity.
And here's the core idea, pulled right from the policy itself. It's this scientific, data-driven approach that asks a really fundamental question. It's not about how many cars can we physically cram onto an island, but how many cars should we allow for the island to stay livable and sustainable. So here's the easiest way to think about it. Each island gets a hard cap, a vehicle budget. It's a simple idea, but it's totally revolutionary. Once an island hits its limit, that's it. No new vehicles can be registered there until an old one is taken off the road. One in, one out.
All right, so this entire policy really rests on three main pillars. Let's start with the first one, which is all about controlling the number and the type of vehicles that are coming into the country in the first place.
This slide really shows you just how massive the shift in thinking is. On the left, you've got the past, which was pretty much a free-for-all. On the right, a future of strict, careful control. They're bringing in import quotas, those island-specific caps we just talked about, and even something called a certificate of entitlement system. Get this, in some places, that means you'll literally have to bid for the right to own a car. And it's not just about having fewer vehicles, it's about having better vehicles. The push for electric is super aggressive. They're making it cheaper for you and me to buy EVs while mandating that all public and government fleets go 100% electric. And how do you power it all? Solar charging hubs, which, for a sun-drenched nation like the Maldives, is a total no-brainer.
Okay, but limiting cars is only half the battle. Pillar 2 is about something even bigger. It's about fundamentally redesigning how people move around, creating a system where you don't even need a private car to begin with.
And this chart shows the goal perfectly. They want to completely flip the script. The plan is for private vehicles to become the least common way to get around, making up just 15% of all trips. The vast majority of movement, that's going to be powered by public transport, walking, and biking.
And what's really smart is that this isn't a one-size-fits-all plan. No way. It's super adaptable. On the small islands, they're aiming to go completely car-free. For tourist islands, it'll be all about managed fleets of electric buggies. And in the really dense urban hubs, they'll use the same tools we see in big cities, like congestion pricing and strict caps on parking.
Look, for this whole thing to work, the alternatives have to be not just good, they have to be excellent. So they're planning a single payment card for all transport, integrating ferry and bus schedules so you never miss a connection, and even redesigning streets to prioritize people over cars. It's all about making the sustainable choice the most convenient choice.
But you can have the best plan in the world, and if there's no enforcement, it's really just a piece of paper. And that brings us to the final crucial pillar, making sure these ambitious rules actually stick.
So who makes all this happen? Well, the responsibilities are laid out very clearly. It starts at the top with the national ministry setting the big picture quotas, and it goes all the way down to the local island councils who actually develop and enforce their own specific mobility plans. Everyone, including the private sector, has a role to play. Now this is the brain of the whole operation. A national transport observatory is going to be the data hub, constantly monitoring traffic, vehicle numbers, emissions, everything. This is what ensures those vehicle budgets aren't just a guess. They're based on hard, real-time information.
And they are not messing around with enforcement. They're bringing in some serious modern tech. We're talking GPS monitoring on all commercial vehicles and taxis for safety and quality control, and even AI-assisted tools to catch things like illegal parking. This is a high-tech solution for a very modern problem.
So when you put it all together, fewer cars, better transit, and strong enforcement, it's a truly comprehensive, powerful vision. But what does it all mean in the bigger picture?
This quote, straight from the policy itself, brings us right back to where we started. It's a direct, logical response to a unique environmental constraint. It's about preserving the very nature of the islands that makes them so special in the first place.
And that leaves us with a fascinating thought. The Maldives is tackling this problem out of pure necessity, right? Their land is incredibly limited. But as our own cities get more and more crowded and our climate gets more fragile, aren't we all, in a way, living on islands with finite space? It really makes you wonder,